Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker, my apologies. Today, I am pleased to give my maiden speech to the House, and with it, I'd like to tell a bit of my story of where I came from and why I'm here. Some of the members of this House may know some of the story of how I came to this province seeking a better life and how I found it in Alberta. I came to this province in 2011 after feeling the economic crunch of 2008 in very real ways. After bouncing from tech startup to tech startup in an environment where surviving was the new success. I left BC to find new opportunities, and I found them here in Alberta. Thank you very much. For generations, the saying was, "Head west, young man." It was uttered to young men seeking opportunity. I found myself heading east from my home in BC, over the Rockies to a land that I saw as full of opportunity. When I came east to Alberta, I found a place where I found not only a job, but a career, a community, and a home. When I got here, I looked around for any kind of job, whatever was on offer. And Madam Speaker, given the common knowledge of my love of automobiles, finding a job in a mechanical field I think was a stroke of serendipity. At the time, the guy who was hiring me painted a picture of what Alberta was like at that time. He asked the questions such as, can you show up on time? Can you do that most of the time? Could you show up sober? And it was a bonus that I grasped the concept of lefty-loosey, righty-tighty as it applies to bolts. At that time, Alberta was bleeding for skilled labor, and I found a niche bolting bits of industrial generators together. From there, I soon found myself on the way up the ladder, going from the shop floor to shipping manager to project manager, eventually settling into a sales position that I held before getting elected. In a few short years, I had gone from making diesel generators to selling them to a wide variety of industrial oil and gas clients right across this province. I am proud that I've helped energize the Alberta industry, but also to recognize that Alberta is more than just a set of economic numbers. Alberta is the people that make it up. Wherever you are, one of the people who have been here all their lives, or whether you're one of the people who have been here all their lives, or if you're a relatively newcomer, it doesn't matter. We are all Albertans, and we are all a part of this great province. In coming to Alberta, I found a career, the home, and a sense of community I was looking for when coming to this province. Here, I found a diverse group of people to go skiing with, people to enjoy tinkering with cars with, you name it, wherever I went, I found people in the midst of building strong communities. Today, I sit in the New Democratic Caucus proudly representing the communities that make up Calgary-Currie. Calgary-Currie is a vibrant inner-city riding that has seen great transformation over the years, from its pre-World War II airstrip and barracks to lumber mills and factories in the post-war boom, and now as a developing part of Calgary's new urban and commercial residential cores. Things change over time, and Calgary-Currie has grown with the city. The constituency has matured and is host to a diversity and vibrancy that excites me. Why does it excite me, Mr. Speaker? Because diversity and vibrancy are at the core of quality communities. Communities of people who, through thick and thin, have stood for their community, stood by their neighbors, not because their families came from the same place in the old country, or because they are in the same income bracket. No, they stick together because they are part of a community. They share the streets, the grocery stores, coffee shops, and parks. It doesn't matter that on one side of the street there is a subsidized government housing, and on the other, multi-million-dollar homes overlooking the beautiful Bow Valley. It doesn't matter because they are community, and that is the important thing. This diversity extends from our streets and into our schools, where we see a great number of different types of learning environments. Elementary, high school, traditional learning, various immersion and Montessori programs, and the list goes on. From private schools like Clearwater Academy, based in the former Curry Barracks, where I actually attended Remembrance Day ceremonies this past November. Like Richmond Elementary School, where I spent a morning with students talking about environmental issues and waste, where I have to admit that has been one of my toughest crowds to date, as I've never seen a group of 10-year-olds so excited about garbage. And it doesn't matter what we do, or where we are from, or how much money we make. What matters is that we come together as fellow Albertans and fellow human beings. As members of the community, residents of Calgary-Curry know that it takes more than strong families and to build strong communities. It takes people willing to look past our differences. It takes people willing to looking at the ties that bring us together, rather than hurling insults across the aisle at those we disagree with, which we are often prone to in this House. I am so proud to be a part of the communities of Calgary-Curry, community associations like Killarney Glengarry, Sinalta, Bankview, Richmond Nob Hill, Rosscarrock, just to name a few. All offer an assortment of programs and services, from youth soccer and outdoor skating rinks to consultations on road speeds and community gardens. Beyond community associations, we can find seniors groups and service-oriented groups like the Calgary Society for Persons with Disabilities, HIV Community Link, and even the Federation of Calgary Communities all find a home nestled in Calgary-Curry. We also have groups that draw on their cultural and ancestral ties, like the Ukrainian Cultural Center and the Hellenic Society, who certainly cater to a particular group, but are always willing to open their doors to curious neighbors or MLA. From LGBT activism to seniors care to immigrant supports, Calgary-Curry has communities of people working together to make the world around them a better place. Honestly, Madam Speaker, it warms my heart whenever I think of the good work being done by all sorts of people in my community and my constituency. Because that is why we are here, to make the world around us better. Sometimes we disagree with each other, but we are all here in this chamber working to make our world better. And we are all here due to the hard work of others who have supported us all our life. In my life, I have a number of people who have helped me get to where I am today. Without a doubt, my parents, Stuart Malkinson and Denise Pollock, have been the largest contributor to the man I am today. They instilled in me a sense of duty and respect of all people, and I like to think that the caring and empathetic man I am today is because of my parents. My grandparents, Eugene and Verna Pollock, also played a huge role in my development as a person. It was with them that I first explored this province, visiting them every summer for a month, camping, fishing, and hiking, along with their ever-present family dachshund. In all, I enjoyed the wilderness that we have in this province and am privileged that here in Alberta we have all of those recreational activities at our fingertips. On the other side of my family, Gladys and John Malkinson truly earned the title of grandparents. And while they passed away some years ago, I know in my heart of hearts that they would be beaming at the knowledge of where I am today. Madam Speaker, more than the family I was born to, the family I choose has also played a huge role in my life. Longtime friends like Isaac Kaminsky, Rob McKenzie, Stephen Davidson, and David Wildman were my partners, my compatriots, and my comrades in arms, and even those like my dear friend David Homewood and Martin Carr, who are unable to live to see this day. I'm sure I'd be doing them proud now as well. Among all those people who've supported and mentored me, Barry Bell is the one who got me into politics. He was a man of integrity, a man who said and meant what he said, even if he knew it wasn't what you wanted to hear. He was honest to a fault at times, sometimes having a crowd of allies around him and being cleared that he disagreed with them on a particular point. He wasn't going to lie simply to appease the crowd. But he was never beyond listening to have his mind change, to listen to the evidence and facts in front of him. It is in their honor that I stood for election for the Alberta NDP in 3 times. And I've always aimed to conduct myself with the same level of integrity and honesty that these people I previously mentioned have instilled in me throughout my life. It is these people who've made me the man I am today, and the family I was born to, and the family I choose. These are the people who've made up my community through my life. Whether to schools, community organizations, or even just community gardens, the greatest things about Calgary Curry is the people. I've worked with parents who give days, weeks, and months of their lives to seeking solutions to provide for their children with the greatest opportunities possible. I've sat down with groups of seniors who were incredibly interested in a gambit of controversial topics. I've also met with business owners, both large and small. Even those who've come into my office in crisis situations, I feel come away with a greater sense of purpose and courage. Not because me or my staff are able to solve their problems in that moment, but because before they came into my office, they felt alone, isolated, and in fear. No, they leave my office knowing that there are people out there who care. There are communities of people out there willing and able to support them. When I used to cast my ballot on election day in the past, and now on a daily basis here as part of daily routine, I look beyond the policies, beyond the rhetoric, and try to find the people who we are trying to help in this assembly. When we vote on farm safety, when we vote on job creation, when we vote on LGBTQ rights, I strive to find the people behind the policy. I think of the tradespeople who work often late at night, outside or in shops, fixing our infrastructure, keeping our utilities running, and the literal gas and diesel engines of commerce running. I started my career in Alberta working with these people and understand their concerns, their hopes, and their dreams of making a life for themselves and their families. As a result, concerns of safety and fair taxation will always be close to my heart. I think of the men and women who I marched with on February 14th at the Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women's March, which took place in my riding, recognizing the abhorrent situation that faces too many of our First Nation, Métis, and Inuit friends. It is not okay that we've let so many of our sisters fall through the cracks, and it is not okay that for so many years we have been systematically ignoring their plight. Policies, community, and politics, it all comes down to people. It all comes down to what people do. I am here because I was supported by people, and I want to support people. It takes more than individuals to build a strong province. Just like it takes a village to raise a child, it takes vibrant communities to build vibrant communities. Madam Speaker, I am so proud of where I have come from and what I have gone through, but I'm even more proud of the work that I'm doing now, supporting communities of people who form the backbone of what makes Alberta great. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.